Welcome to NYNJPA Weather, your severe weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Welcome to Friday. We are finally here, and this weekend doesn't look all that bad. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty and find out what's happening. Well, this is the visible satellite picture as of 10:35 a.m. And as you can see, clear skies are dominating much of New Jersey and the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan areas. We do have a few low clouds still lingering over parts of northeastern Pennsylvania and central Pennsylvania and parts of Connecticut and eastern Long Island. These low clouds will continue to slowly burn off and lift away, and for the most part this afternoon, most locations can expect excellent weather conditions. Temperatures are already rising into the mid to upper 70s throughout the region, and what we can expect for this afternoon is temperatures in the lower to mid 80s for most locations. Temperatures holding around the upper 70s to around 80 degrees over parts of southeastern Long Island and the immediate New Jersey coast. But really, it's going to be absolutely perfect if we're going down to the beach or any outdoor activities, or if you're going to the Mets game tonight. So what could we expect for the next several days? Well, first, again, I want to go over the surface map here. We have high pressure starting to move off of the New England coast, and that's important because since it's moving off the New England coast, and specifically around Maine, that means a southeasterly wind is coming off the Atlantic. Why is that important? Well, southeasterly wind off the Atlantic transports a marine air mass into the Philadelphia, New York City metropolitan area, and that means your potential for thunderstorms is greatly reduced because a marine air mass is a stable one. And a stable air mass produces showers, not severe thunderstorms. So if you're tired of the severe weather, you're going to get a break because this type of pattern does not support severe weather. It supports showers and many days where you're going to have some clouds, but overall dry and comfortable weather conditions. Now the water vapor is very interesting. First, I'm going to put on the upper level winds, and you can see a strong northwesterly flow is in place over the northern mid-Atlantic, and that goes all the way back to the Great Lakes. We have high pressure over the Great Lakes, another one over Maine, and they are on the move to the east. And these disturbances back here over the northern plains, well, these disturbances are going to be the features that will try to move through the northern mid-Atlantic and produce widely scattered showers. And the best potential for rainfall, I think, is going to be on Saturday night into Sunday morning. So if you're going out on Saturday night, bring an umbrella with you for a few scattered showers. It could be heavy at times, but I think these low pressure systems are going to be relatively weak and disorganized. Also notice we're starting to get a little bit more southern entrenchment of the upper level low and the polar vortex digging deeper into Ontario as we start to move through August and head towards September and a new fall pattern. So things are certainly starting to get interesting with our new weather pattern. Notice also we have a rather powerful storm developing over the northern Atlantic, and this is the remnants of Emily that got torn apart due to dry air and the island of Hispaniola, which basically destroyed the low-level circulation, and this is pretty much what's left of Emily. With the winds shearing apart Emily for the next 48 hours, I really don't expect much in the way of redevelopment, although I am going to keep an eye on the low pressure system here just in case. But the key point here is that this powerful storm is going to continue to enhance our negative NAO pattern, which basically means that a high pressure system starts to get locked in around New England, and we start to get a storm track that cuts through the northern mid-Atlantic rather than to the north of the northern mid-Atlantic. And that's important because a low pressure track through the northern mid-Atlantic keeps us on the northeast side of these low pressure systems, which means an easterly wind is transporting a marine air mass ahead of these low pressure systems, producing more showers than thunderstorms. Okay, so let's drop down to the tropical Atlantic. Now again, here's what's left of Emily. Not all that impressive. There are a few thunderstorm clusters, but the problem is that a low-level circulation is just having a hard time organizing. And with it being so close to Cuba in the first place, another island that is rather mountainous. I can't really see the potential for this disturbance redeveloping, but we'll keep an eye on it. The remnant moisture is starting to drift to the north and will become entrained in this stationary front that will continue to drift off to the north and west. Meanwhile, out here, this disturbance has my attention. I didn't really go over it in the tropical weather threat analysis for premium members, and the reason why is that right now it doesn't really pose any significant threat for the next 48 hours, but it does have a mid-level circulation, and this type of disturbance is what's going to have to be watched as we move forward in the Cape Verde season. And the reason why is because of this feature right here. Let me zoom in on this. This is the tropical Atlantic. Okay, these are the sea surface temperatures from NCEP. These are observations, and as you can see, the tropical Atlantic is rather warm. Very, very warm anomalies over in the northern Atlantic. The sea surface temperatures all throughout the Caribbean, and the western Atlantic is also very warm. And as we move towards Africa, you can also see very warm sea surface temperatures as well. And the reason why that's a concern is that when these disturbances move off of the African coast, they move into an extremely favorable environment for development. And as you've noticed, these disturbances have been getting their act together in this location, and look where the temperatures happen to be above normal. So clearly we're going to have to keep an eye on the tropics over the next several weeks, because we are dealing with a very warm tropical Atlantic scenario. And I just wanted to go off to Africa, and you can see all these disturbances. Now notice as you're watching them, they have a bit of a circulation already, a lot of these disturbances. And that's why we're so concerned. That's why the National Hurricane Center is also very concerned, is that all of these disturbances moving off with mid-level circulations will eventually produce low-level circulations, which leads to tropical depressions, storms, and of course hurricanes. So this is going to be something we're going to have to watch very carefully, and it could have a major influence on our weather pattern, even if it doesn't directly impact the northern mid-Atlantic, because it influences the rest of the upper level pattern, especially over the northern Atlantic. So let's move to our models. This is the European model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website, a great website. Here's the web address right here. Visit this web address if you want the best model data that is free available. It's excellent model data. Okay, so as you can see, by Saturday evening, here we are. We have 1 disturbance, 2, 3, 4. My point here is that we have these disturbances riding along this upper level low, rotating through, and they're generally weak. We're not talking about strong storms here, but they're enough of a pest to produce scattered showers this weekend, Saturday night, parts of Sunday. Not a washout, but clearly there will be a potential for a few scattered showers here and there. So it won't be a completely dry weekend, but won't be a washout either. So if you have outdoor activities, go out there and enjoy the weather. It's not that bad. For the most part, you will be able to enjoy your outdoor activities. And as we move into Monday, you can still see these disturbances. Notice down here, and let me go back here, there's plenty of moisture, but not much in the way of 90%. This dark green is 90%, and that's where you get your rainfall. This 70% is cloud cover, so we clearly have cloud cover, but we don't have much in the way of precipitation. You can see in the mid-levels we actually have dry air here, so clearly we're not dealing with a major rain pattern whatsoever, but again, more of a nuisance type of showery pattern, and that continues on through next week with disturbances moving in and out, high pressure building in every so often. This is a weak high pressure system. These are weak low pressure systems. So on and off we'll have a threat of showers each and every day, but many locations will remain dry anyway, and temperatures will remain near normal with relatively low humidity, especially compared to what we've been dealing with. And as we move forward into the weather pattern all the way out to 240 hours, which is basically next weekend, you can see this pattern continuing on. Now, I never take a model verbatim, but the basic ideas here still remain. Upper level ridge remaining over the southern plains. Unfortunately, Oklahoma City and Texas continues to bake. Upper level ridge over the western Atlantic, which means there's a threat for tropical systems coming in towards the Bahamas and curving up towards the east coast, and a weakness or trough continuing to linger over the east coast, which should cause these tropical systems to recurve out into the Atlantic and possibly enhance the weather pattern over the northern Atlantic. So this is a pattern we're setting up in for August and likely continue to see in a little bit more of an enhanced fashion for September. That's pretty much it for today. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for trusting in NYNJPA Weather as your severe weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. To find the latest weather information and severe weather coverage, always trust in NYNJPAweather.com or find NYNJPA Weather on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent day.